Hello and welcome to Firstpost Spotlight, where we bring you stories that matter to you from all across the world. From breaking news to the day's biggest controversies, we shed light on issues that shape our world. I'm Alison Lagrange, live from Durban, South Africa. Let's begin with the top headlines. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi meets with his British counterpart Keir Starmer in London, where both leaders signed the landmark free trade agreement that's expected to boost bilateral trade by $34 billion annually. US President Donald Trump will head to Scotland on Friday for trade talks and golf. He is also expected to meet UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer during his trip. Chinese President Xi Jinping meets European Union Chief Ursula von der Leyen and says China and the EU must deepen trust in a turbulent world. However, the bloc's chief says cooperation with China has deepened, but so have imbalances. Myanmar's junta claims to have ousted anti-coup rebels from a gold mining hub after a year-long battle, its second declared recapture of a key town in a week. And wildfires in Turkey's northwestern province kills at least 10 firefighters and rescue workers. Authorities say several fires are raging in central and western Turkey, where temperatures are soaring. Hello and welcome. Today we begin with Southeast Asia, where tensions have escalated sharply between Thailand and Cambodia. The border conflict centers around overlapping territorial borders. There have been casualties and a complete breakdown in diplomacy. What began as a simmering border dispute has now drawn blood, this time with F-16 airstrikes, diplomatic expulsions, and a toll on thousands of civilians. The spat is over an area known as the Emerald Triangle. The borders of both countries and Laos meet here, which is home to several ancient temples. At the heart of the conflict are the 9th to 11th century temples that are believed to have initially been built as Hindu shrines. One among them is the Prasat Thamuan Tom Temple. Cambodia claims the temple based on historical boundaries, but Thailand says it is in its Surin province. The International Court of Justice has awarded it to Cambodia, but Thai troops remain in the area around it. The recent escalation began with a landmine blast. 5 Thai soldiers were injured near the border. One of them lost a leg. Thailand accuses Cambodia of planting new explosives. Cambodia denied the charges. They say the mines are leftovers from the civil war between 1970 and 1988. Then came the fallout. The clashes began earlier today around the Thamuan and Thamuan Tom temples, claimed by both countries. Now, according to the Thai army, Cambodian troops fired first. The Thai side said it responded after coming under fire. Cambodia, however, claimed its troops were defending national territory. Thailand's response came soon. It shut all northeastern border crossings and expelled Cambodia's ambassador from Bangkok. Cambodia responded in kind. They downgraded diplomatic ties and evacuated the embassy and ordered all Thai diplomats to leave the country. But that wasn't the end. Shells landed in residential areas of Thailand's Surin province. Videos emerged showing residents running for cover and taking shelter under bunkers built with concrete. Residents in Bangkok say they don't want a war.
My hometown is near the Thai-Cambodia border, so we're aware of the situation between Thailand and Cambodia. We think it should end. We don't want it to drag on, because a lot has already been lost along the border and people have been affected.
Meanwhile, Thailand's army said Cambodian attacks have killed at least 11 civilians and injured dozens. How did it respond? With an airstrike. An F-16 fighter jet reportedly bombed targets inside Cambodia. Thailand also warned Cambodia that it is ready to intensify efforts to stop violations.
The Royal Thai government is prepared to intensify our self-defense measures if Cambodia persists in its armed aggression and violations upon Thailand's sovereignty in accordance with international law and principles.
And then started the exchange of accusations. Both sides traded blame. Cambodia slammed Thailand's unprovoked military aggression. Meanwhile, the Thai government called Cambodia's actions inhumane, brutal, and war-hungry. Cambodian Prime Minister is now taking the matter to the United Nations. He requested the UN Security Council to convene an urgent meeting. On the other side of the border, Thailand's acting Prime Minister said the situation with Cambodia requires careful handling. This latest crisis is unfolding against a backdrop of deep mistrust between the countries. Tensions have been rising since May. A Cambodian soldier was killed near the Emerald Triangle, and relations soured further after a leaked phone call between the then Prime Minister, Paetongtarn Shinawatra, and Cambodia's former leader, Hun Sen. In that call, she appeared to criticize Thailand's military strategy. The backlash was swift. Paetongtarn was suspended from office. The border conflict has been going on for decades. Thailand and Cambodia share an 817-kilometer border. Much of it was mapped by French colonial authorities and remains poorly demarcated. Overlapping claims have sparked violence before. After the latest attacks, the Thai embassy in Cambodia has urged all its nationals to leave. China has also weighed in. It has ordered its citizens in Cambodia to avoid areas near the frontier with Thailand. So here we are, two militaries on alert and diplomacy in tatters. This isn't just another skirmish. This is a dangerous pattern. Old wounds have reopened, old maps still disputed, and lives once again caught in the crossfire. And moving on, let's turn our attention to West Asia, where the Iranian and American forces had a brief face-off in the Gulf of Oman. Tehran said it had confronted a U.S. Navy destroyer approaching the Iranian territorial waters on Wednesday. Iranian media has released visuals of the encounter in the Gulf of Oman. The visuals were shot from a helicopter dispatched to confront the USS Fitzgerald guided missile destroyer. Footage of the reported encounter captures a helicopter flying near the U.S. warship, and an Iranian crew member can be heard issuing what appeared to be a radio warning in English, ordering the warship to change its course as it was approaching Iranian territorial waters. Reports say the U.S. destroyer responded by threatening to target the Iranian aircraft if it did not leave. Tehran claimed that the repeated warnings from the Iranian military forced the U.S. destroyer to give in and change its course. Iran has slammed the actions of the U.S. destroyer as a provocative move. However, Washington has struck a different note on the incident. The U.S. said that the interaction with the Iranian SH-3 Sea King helicopter took place in international waters. It was safe and professional, and it did not affect the ship's mission. The U.S. added that any reports by the Iranian media claiming otherwise are false, and attempts by Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps to spread misinformation. This encounter in the Gulf of Oman comes a month after the United States struck 3 key Iranian nuclear sites during the 12-day war between its ally Israel and its archfoe Iran. Now, this incident marks the first direct encounter reported between the Iranian and U.S. forces since the conflict last month. Iranian forces have a history of confronting U.S. forces in bodies of water off the country's southern coast. In 2023, Tehran said it forced a U.S. submarine to surface while crossing the strategic Strait of Hormuz, but Washington had denied the claim. Iran and the U.S. have been wrangling over a nuclear deal. Despite multiple rounds of talks, there has been no breakthrough, and such encounters between the two countries continue to raise tensions in West Asia. From geopolitical conflicts, now let's turn our attention to a dramatic brawl that broke out mid-air on an Air Asia flight. The flight was traveling from Kuala Lumpur to China when the chaos unfolded. Take a look. Now, a man was seated behind a group of 3 women. The cabin lights were dimmed, but the women were chatting loudly. He asked them to quiet down, but the woman paid no attention to his request. Frustrated, the man lost his temper and called them stupid and asked them to shut up. It was at this point that the confrontation among the passengers escalated into an all-out brawl. A fellow passenger captured the shocking incident. In the footage, a woman in a green outfit and a baseball cap can be seen repeatedly throwing punches at the man. Another woman also joined in, hitting the man as he ducked behind his food tray. Soon the situation worsened, and multiple other passengers also got involved in the brawl. As the fistfight broke out, the cabin crew members sprung into action, trying to restore order on the flight. Emergency lights flickered throughout the cabin. Eventually, the flight crew did manage to calm the situation. Officials were said to be waiting to question those involved when the flight later landed in China's Sichuan. An investigation was launched into the incident, and no arrests have been made so far. The incident raises concerns over passenger behavior and in-flight safety. It also serves as a reminder of how quickly tensions can escalate. And in the Philippines, where floodwaters have swallowed homes and displaced thousands, a couple got married inside a flooded church. It was a scene you wouldn't expect to see in most weddings. A bride in white, a groom in barong. Holding hands, they walked down the aisle, wading through knee-deep floodwater. This is not a scene from a film. This is real. The couple, Jade Rick Verdillo and Jamaica Aguilar, were determined to walk down the aisle on their wedding day, even if it meant walking down a flooded one.
I feel that challenges won't be over. It's just a test. Before we got married, we were in this relationship for 10 years. We have been through a lot. This is just one of the struggles that we've overcome.
The guests celebrated, cheered as they tied the knot. They lauded the determination of the bride and groom, saying that love prevails.
It's an extraordinary wedding.
It's an extraordinary wedding, like you will see love prevailed because even against weather, storm, rains, floods, the wedding continued for the blessing of our Lord. They become one.
The scenes from the church in the north of the Philippines went viral on social media. And this isn't the first time that something like this has happened in the country. 2 years ago, a couple got married in the same flooded church. In 2018, another couple tied the knot at a flooded church near Manila. But these submerged weddings aren't just a tale of love. They are also about loss. Philippines faced widespread flooding due to a storm called Whippa. It killed at least 7 and displaced thousands. Whippa, locally called Krising, is the 3rd storm in the Philippines this year. Around 20 tropical cyclones form in the region every year, and half of them hit the country directly. Flooding has become a norm, especially in Metro Manila, a megacity of 13 million people. Old sewage systems, poor planning, garbage-clogged drains all point to challenges that the country faces. The deluge came just days ahead of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s travels to the U.S. Now, Marcos paused his State of the Nation address prep after viral images showed his team putting up banners instead of helping with relief operations. Critics say the government should focus more on disaster response rather than preparing for a political spectacle. But Marcos, who was in Washington, said he had ensured the preparedness of the disaster response agencies before he left the country. Couples walked through the waters to say yes to forever. They didn't wait for the skies to clear. They turned a disaster into a memory. But the question remains, if two people can build a future standing in knee-deep water, what's stopping those in power from fixing the ground beneath them? And that's all we have for you on the show for today. We will see you again tomorrow at the same time. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to Firstpost.
From breaking news to the day's biggest controversies, shedding light on the world's top headlines, detailed analysis on the stories that matter the most to you. Catch it all on Spotlight at 6 p.m. India time and 12:30 GMT, only on Firstpost.
Hello and a very warm welcome. I am Gushin Galan and you're watching Firstpost. In the next 2 minutes, I get you the top 40 updates from around the world, only here on Fast and Factual. Let's get started. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi will sign a historic trade deal with the UK today. Prime Minister Modi met with UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer after receiving a grand welcome